Hi. I've just called Barbara. I need to get the other Joy-Con. Just called Barbara. You should be ready to do some training with me. Once again, I'm just sat doing this. Oops. Okay, so we're here. No, not the beginning. Apple. Is Apple listed on the thing? I'm going to find out if she is. To get rid of it. Okay, there we go. Oh, I see. Right, so I can't be bothered to stand up and stand up, so we're just doing this so that Spoppy Square just gives me stuff to do, so that I'm not just doing the same thing. Oh yeah. Look at me, it's so important. Yeah, see, like the mic is grinding against this zip. That's why it's making that noise. I can hear the noise. Like you're probably hearing it a lot worse. I've got cables everywhere. No, that's not fun. No way. I know who that is next to you, Barbara. Oh, you're just being quiet about it. That's fine.
Nice there.
She's getting ready to roll now. Kida and Pablo, I think. It's Pablo. What happened to Wako? She does the funniest faces. Oh, it's a late frame. Okay, so to do this without being too distracted, because what we're supposed to be doing isn't even this. I do feel like your outfit suits you, Tomoko. It is white, isn't it? I've seen you in a lot of white outfits. I'm sure the first outfit I ever saw you in was of that colour. No, it wasn't. You had like a sports top on. Yeah, that's that. Okay. I feel like this is going by a lot quicker than... Yeah, see, we could do that, Barbara. We could. We actually could. I guess we'll stay here for a bit, since Tomoko is here. But what we're thinking is, oh no, but then, because it's with your friends, the replays won't last as long, basically. You get the replays and then, unless you're super fast, they'll finish, and then I won't get much time. You still have the transitions. It's nice seeing her then. You still have the She looks so fake. She's in a tunnel position. She looks so focused. I was about to unzip the Joy-Con strap. Oh, Sandra's there. Well, I couldn't do that because then you got 9 pins. Oh no, not quite. Okay, I forgot about these bonus stars, you know. You see, look, now I can't. Yeah, we need to go to survival bowling, Barbara. Let's go. Got some pins. Okay, so I need to here we go. Alright. To add the people, so Maria, I don't know if because I want to get Apple in there too. We'll see who to sub out. This time I'm going to 5 pillars of ball. Can you get a strike from here? Oh. Okay, let's actually look and see if you can. Is that actually a thing that you can do? Because you have to bowl, right? But you can't hit that pillar. There's a pillar that you can't hit. No, so you can get a strike, but you have to time it again. So how much would you have to hook it? Let's see. Because if Barbara got the ball in the right spot, she can do that. It'll be timed though. Maybe she can't. I think the ball's just too big, so I don't think you'd get past that pillar. You'd have to hook it extra to get to the other side, which I feel is a bit trickier. I think player B had that one earlier. Something like that, if you did that on the other one. But you can't hook it too much. You can't have the ball spin too much at the start because then it'll go into the middle pillar. I do like having these advanced special links. I just think they're interesting. So late from early. I don't think it's a late throw, to be honest.
Nice strike.
Didn't get much out of that. That doesn't matter. You know, I just watched some training session where he said something like he didn't get much. It's like he didn't feel much out of that training session that he had, but he still said something like, "I still got out and did it. I did some mileage, and that's what I'm here to do. Get out each day, put in some work, and then we'll get the results in the future." Something like that. I don't completely remember, but when he said that, I just thought about the things we've been saying, where it's, even if you don't feel the feedback, at least we're putting in some work. No, it's not about grinding, because you can play for fun and not really. But at least as long as you're doing the right things, like, don't play for fun in a way that doesn't, like, let's say you just, I don't know, you do something from this spot that it's like, why would you do that if you were trying to get a strike? But we're not really proficient at getting a strike from this spot. What I'm going to do is Susanna's freestyle. Okay, we're here. We don't really know what we're doing, but we're going to give it a try. It's like that, where that's still an example of having fun, while still doing something that gets your brain, I don't know, gets you doing more of what you're trying to do.
Nice there.
Which is understand how to hook the ball and knock over as many pins as possible. We still got 9 pins out of that. You can just mess around and have some fun. You're not really feeling a lot, but maybe it'll click later. I mean, this is mental training here, but even with the physical training, if you get something done, it's better than doing nothing. So I guess I'm saying it was nice to hear that Matt understands that.
Finish.
He takes his training quite seriously. When he went out and did that session, he felt like it would go wrong, but he still wanted to try it just to see if it could go right. It's like maybe he hasn't made the mistake enough to know whether or not it would be wrong. And also, he just got unlucky. It's like when you go out and ride buses and you just so happen to have people talking on it. You can't control that. Even if you got on the bus at the busiest time of the day, you could just have no one on your bus. And okay, that's cool. I get to sample the bus journey without exposing anyone or having people's conversations in it. Or you could get on the bus at 3 in the morning and there's just one person on the bus playing music on their phone. You can't predict. You can think, well, why is anyone going to be up at 3 in the morning riding the bus? It should be free, but it's not. It's luck-based, so I don't think he went into that run expecting to get a bunch of seagulls in his way or just random birds, because people were feeding the birds, even though there were signs that said don't feed the birds. And the birds got in the way of his running, so his running was like, oh, his running didn't go so well. But he didn't know that was going to happen. So it's not for you to do things that are like do things that you know are going to go well. He still he tried doing something hoping it would work, because if it did work it would be great for him. It didn't work. Oh well, that could have gone better, but at least you got something. You just have to accept that we got something out of it and move on. And at least, again, like we're saying, he still got some mileage done. He still got some fitness done. At least his body got to work rather than him sitting at home. So how does this work? It's simple. And I think it is. I'll check to see if it actually does affect the internet. But we're actually connected on. So if Barbara just hanging with her friends, hopefully, I can see the data rate has gone down, so I wonder. Like it went down by like a whole 10,000. That's crazy stuff.
Bowling.
This video says it has 3 hours left.
Here we go.
And it went up. Oh no, it's gone back down again, so I wonder. We'll keep looking. It keeps going down. I can't help this, you know, because I've got a video upload.
Survival bowling.
So just keep in mind. Is
The
that Holly?
contestants.
It's Holly! Oh, Gabriel. Oh, Gabriel. Forgot about him. There's just too many people. There's Ian.
Round 1.
Oh, you got your obstacles, so that's cool. Arena. Can you do it for me? Yeah, you can. It's harder, but you can do it for me.
Nice try.
Oh, that's all I want. So, ready up. Not sorry, it's the zip. The zip is doing the grind. It's doing the thing that you shouldn't be doing. Ghost Julie. Who's on the Ghost Julie? Oh, that's the thing, it's a noise. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about this mic problem. I'll get those ants out of my way. Yeah, the connection speed is low. I can. Oh, you're on me.
Great double.
The connection speed is lower than what it is. Now it's at 42,000. We'll just keep looking. We'll just keep looking. Okay, Ghost Julie. That's okay. That's it. Oh, it's Holly. Oh, girl, Holly. Show us the girl power. You only knocked over 2 pins, Holly. I should be watching. That's looking very, yeah. Okay, sorry. You've got. She'll probably put cake on the She'll probably just, yeah, I'm really sorry about this. Oh look, Ian has 30 points. That means he's probably still, yeah, he's still next to you. I wonder where he flew from if he did a link from. That depends on how much you have.
Wow.
You weren't wearing this jacket last time. You got a spell out there too. Okay, go Jesse, yes. 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 Yes, yes. It's not going to be our thing for Haley. It's not Haley. I just wrote Haley's name down, that's why. Sandra. Chica, Mike. Mike, probably put Elisa at the bottom. Elisa. Elisa. Eva. Misaki, Anna, Ash. It's Oscar. And here's Mike. 50 points. Negotiator had to do about 50 points. Okay, look for a pillar to go like that. Not well, yes, she got the shot. How'd that turn out? I'm not sure. Misaki. Gabby, Anna, Ash. A-N-N-A, if you spell Anna's name in reverse, you get Anna. This one, the eastbound platform. Cole! Oh yeah, Cole. Did it. We couldn't skip it, man. Oh, the ball must have, yeah, it got diverted. This eastbound service has been diverted. Yeah, it's fine. Do you have a set for that, Barbara? No, you've got Piquette steps. What happened? How did you end up with her? Oh, I know how you ended up with her stats, but I just realised these are the special ones. Yeah, only 19 points in future. One triangle. That's really good. I still think you might hit the platform. The pillar. I think you need to wait for that one. We got the strike. Yeah, see? A bit offset to the right hand side. It looks like you and Cole could be target. Holly's there. Holly's there, isn't it? What's the data rate like now? It's gone back down again. As long as the video is still uploading steadily, I would say don't have a major problem. It should at least not affect Barbara's ability to play with her friends. It's kind of funny that Tomiko's not here. Maybe she's still back where Barbara was before. So yeah, Apple's not here. I would like Apple to be here, but then that puts on another group. So it's just a question of, can I really be bothered to take people out? It would be nice for Ian to be here as well. There was this other thing I had in mind where it's okay, so I've got 40 people. Oh, two dark-skinned people with pink hair. Everyone has brown skin here. Everyone has brown skin. You got actually, yeah, it's just Martin and Barbara who are light, and everyone else is much darker. One bar and one pillar. Wait, did he hit the... What did he do? What did this guy do? Did you see what he did?
Yes.
It looked like he hit the pillar that just popped up. Let me put it in here. Gee, who else can I actually put Gwen in Google, in the Google search bar. it showed up with a result of an actress named Gwendolyn. And it's funny because I like to call Gwendolyn. Oh, yes, you're tired of Cole now. Yeah, that Cole. Imagine Cole gets 279. And the special is, okay, so this is that one where we always say, do you hook it too much? Or you've got to be really careful about this. I think, because you can't throw late here, try to hook late. Well done. I can't tell she had used heavy spin or not. Kind of looked like she did. But she certainly didn't apply much of a hurt, so that was good. Oh, too bad you got Peach at stance. I mean, you could come up with something, right? What have you got? That's Tomoko style. What are you doing? Barbara knows what she's doing. It's funny how we talked about Holly and Barbara. All three of these are supposedly in your bowling fest. I mean, Holly's already played, but we talked about Cole being in, and then there's you. Come on, Cole, keep it going. Yes, yes, but you're not Jessie. Yes, yes. Okay. Late throw. Barbara. Actually, that means let's see what Cole does. Because he might have actually won the game. Ooh, he got one pin. So what is he at? I have no idea. Let's think for a minute. So I put him at 239, 249, 253 maybe. If you get this, you're getting 258. You got it. So you got 258. I don't know what he got though. It's the question, did he get more or less than 258? I don't know about Holly. I think he got 260 something.
Finish.
Cole, that was cheeky. Cole was so good, bro. Cole was so good that he got a strike after getting the first throw, and he still found a way to get 258. He still found a way. So precise, he got that one pin, and then he got, I think, 6 more. If he did it differently, there are probably other ways to get 258, but you know, there are only so many ways at that point for you to get 258, and he just did it. He also looked at Barbara's throw and thought, oh, you didn't get a strike, Barbara. Well, I guess you capped at 258. Let's see what I can do. And the guy got 258 himself. Okay, he's a funny now, Cole. Look, you're in Barbara's bowling fest. You've just confirmed your slot. Okay. Data rate. So data rate's at 22,000. It just went up to 31,000. It went down to 22,000. Let's go out of here and see what happens. Let's see if it goes back up. It went up to 23,000. Well, no one said we need all of this connection speed, but is that 26,001? 25,000. This is just a connection speed between I guess this laptop and one specific YouTube video. Yeah, it's still sort of fluctuating, so I'm not really sure if it's what's that, 37,000 now? So I don't know. Let's have a little break and Look at some. I'm so sorry about this month. I'm so sorry. I'm so happy about session because you and Cole got 258 together. Oh no, it was a fine session anyway. I just add the icing on the cake, made it extra fun. Extra fun. Green Lady. Sad Green Lady. Green Lady's not on here. Okay, Green Lady. It could be funny and get Princess Daisy to join you guys, but I think I'll leave it out. Green Lady. My nose has issues. Who else? Let's have a look at the spreadsheet. You can't see it, but I can. I can see the spreadsheet. You know what? I think Michaela. We'll put her in as a consideration. Michaela. Gabriel. He does what he wants. Yeah, that was the thing. No, it wasn't Gabriel. He does what he wants. It's Gabriel. He always slips in. He always sneaks his way in. That's what Gabriel does. What would be really fun, I think, just thinking about it, would be to add Sky and Charlene, but I think it would be too complicated to do that. Because I guess this is about me getting to get the thing. I'm not sure actually. I think if it's a case where, yeah, I'm not sure. No, really, I think if it's a case where, because even if, let's say Rachel was using my help, and then in another session, Rachel is using Sky's help, that's kind of no different to Barbara using my help, and then Barbara using the game's help. Barbara using my help and the game's help isn't going to play the same. But it's the fact that Barbara can do either or. Barbara doesn't have to play in one specific way. So, for example, I could say, alright, Sky. Well, actually, it won't work for Sky, but let's say it did. You're going to be playing with Rachel, Cole, and Steve. And then I say, alright, it's all up to you now. You get to help all of them play, but you're also participating. I guess the only bit where it get cursed is if, let's say, there's a group or a league, and then one of the matches is myself, Sky, and Charlene, myself. Okay, let's just say, oh yeah, I'm not even in the thing, am I? Maybe I should be in it. I don't know if I want to be in it. I'm just through. Michaela's in this. If Michaela's in there, then I guess I should be in there. No, it's not really an excuse, it's just why not kind of thing. If Michaela's there, I can be there too. We'll just be there together. And the data rate is still around 34,000. So it's almost like the console hasn't gone to slack. I don't know. The console's still using data, so it's still down. I really don't know why the data rate's gone down. Okay, so that's so funny. Something else I saw. Oh, Naomi! No way, you just completely brushed over Naomi like that. How rude. You know what? I mean, I know Rin's there, but I'm just saying, oh, Sarah as well. Sarah. I'm saying to you, how many people do we have? So this is 20, right? This is at number 30. So that's basically... Actually, I don't really know. Well, anyway, this is 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44. There's one space left. I mean, if we're going for 48, there's one space left, which is what I'd like. I'm seeing Sarah, and I think see, Sarah would be really nice for Tilly, because Tilly and Sarah do have a connection with each other. Tilly also has that with Holly, or is it Holly and Sarah? I think it's Holly and Sarah. I think Tilly and Sarah have done things together as well. So there's that. I mean, to be fair, there's Mia and Eva, but they all have ties with each other. But then just how many people, like, we're almost at the full roster, plus Blue Eyes, Tilly, Ghost Julie, Green Lady in Yellow, and Michaela, and myself. I mean, I could take myself out and put Sarah. Oh yeah, but it's not just Sarah, isn't it? It's I mean, this is true, Barbara, so I haven't asked everyone yet. I asked Ghost Julie earlier, but not everyone have I asked, so it's a case where we could have these people lined up, and then we, I don't know, I actually ask them, and then they say, some of them say, yeah, I can be there, no, I won't be there, sorry, that sort of thing. You don't think Mia would want to do it that much? Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, she's saying Mia doesn't mind the one-off game, but right now she feels like Mia wouldn't be up for a league. Let's see here. So we've got Apple, Green Lady, Green Apple, Gabriel, Amy. Okay. Alright, let's I'm gonna sub myself out for Sarah. Fundamentally, and then what we'll do is I'm going to try to imagine. Who's this? Oh, Ryan. I want to add Ryan. That's kind of funny because who's it? Ryan and it's Ryan and Silky, but I can't get Silky in because we've already got 48. So we'll just do something. Oh yeah. The data rate is still quite... I'm not beginner. There's nothing wrong with beginner, it's just don't feel like doing beginner. Sorry. I should try and look into the setup right now. Let's do that. And get you muted so that you're not hearing about this stuff. So I just got stung by electricity. Because this cable's here in this laptop, the one that's recording the gameplay is cursed, so what it does is it goes beep, and it just leaks electricity if you're not careful. So what happened with this laptop, funnily enough, is it's like it reset the video, so the buffer health got truncated to something around 20 seconds, but then the connection speed went up to 4,000. Now it's at 45,000. I feel like I need a break already. Just think, all this stuff is too much. I feel like I go through too much in the day. I don't really feel happy. Let's do fingers, because I don't do it very often.
Straight.
The connection speed's at 65,000. Right. 48. Are there different things we could do with the groups? Actually, yeah, that's a good point, because if the groups are just 4 people, if the groups are just with 4 people, or do the 4 people just keep playing with each other? I suppose that is... Oh, no, I don't know.
Spare.
If the group switches between 4 people... Yeah, I think that was the idea. It's like Jesse. It's Jesse. And that's Yoko. This looks so silly. If the groups are between 4 people, it's Steve. Like, if there are 4 people in the group, how long would the league be? I guess it would depend on how many times they play against each other. I guess my issue is if you have it like that. That was weird. Surely the leagues would need to be bigger then. Okay, I mean that is a fair point, Barbara. Because you can't really have promotion and demotion if there aren't enough leagues of that. Wait, hold on. Could you Harry spin that? Alright, let's see it then. And of course you could have lots of Harry split. You could Harry spin it, but it's a question of where do you use it from and then how. And obviously that was not it, wasn't it? I feel like the slope ate all of your ball speed. Oh yeah, that person earlier got a carry sweat. Oh, yeah, it's looking like another one. Other times you hit it too close to the middle. Okay, used to that one. There's George. Oh, wow.
Nice there.
Do you see how close that was to the own goal? So we have 48 players here so far. Let's say the league has 24 people. After this session, I'm actually going to just take a break for a bit, close my eyes and that. Wait, can you? Yeah, you would get enough time. If a league has 14, no, 20, I don't know. That's important as well, because 20, there'll be 4 people playing against each other at a time. I'm just remembering what you said. Your question was, how could you have promotion and demotion if there's only one league? So then it's not really a problem that there are only 48 people, because you'd be splitting 48 people into 7 groups so that the top people can move to the higher league and the bottom people can be put down to a lower league. I think I'd like to point out this point. There is a reason why you get put down to a lower league, and it's not because you stink, so you deserve to be in a worse position. It's actually not a worse position, at least in theory. It's not. It's design philosophy. The design philosophy behind being ranked down is so that you don't have to deal with as much of a challenge. I suppose in that sense it's a funny concept, because if you want to get better, you do need to put yourself against a challenge. But then I guess you also don't want to be, as we said, you don't want to put too much on you at once. So if you get ranked down, I guess the system suggests that you are putting too much against yourself, and so you should give yourself a bit more breathing space. Let's use some references from Next User, for example. It's like this guy is a guru, but he's not. He's just a guy having experiences and sharing them. But I think what he's sharing is quite useful and interesting. So anyway, what he was saying is, you can't start training and expect to be at your peak, if that makes sense. You can't expect to go into running, have a great time. Did you win everything? Yeah, you did. Have a great time, and then, every day you feel like you want to run again and again and again. Chances are you start running for the first time and it feels like too much. You don't know how to regulate your running. You might burn yourself out too much. Maybe you'll break a muscle or something. Not know when to take breaks and things like that. And so you need to take it in steps. You need to find a pattern, not a pattern, but just a way to get yourself into the running. You can't just start running and expect it to work. Well, you're not supposed to expect things anyway. Yeah, I could say, for example, you can't see a power any split, throw a ball at it and expect to convert it just like that. It's not going to happen straight away. You have to take the time to understand and learn how that split works. But then let's say you get that split and you're playing against advanced players who know how to convert it. Let's say they got the split as well. They converted it, you didn't, and then you lost the match. There still isn't really a problem, but I guess in the sense of the competition, the whole point of the ranks is so that everyone in the competition is playing at a similar level to each other, so that when you do that, those sessions, especially from a viewing perspective, you won't actually know who will win. Because if you put let's use Super Smash Bros. For example. There's a very high chance that if you put a level 9 CPU against a level 1 CPU, or let's rephrase that, if you put a character with a level 9 CPU against another character with a level 1 CPU, even if it's the same character, there's a very high chance that the level 1 CPU, the character with the level 1 CPU will never win, because they just don't have the skill set that the level 9 CPU has. They'll always be outmatched by the level 9 CPU, which is fine, but then in the context of a competition, you always know what the result will be. Also, it doesn't really make for a good competition, because the competition is or even just a game is a kind of competition where people's performances are compared with each other, but ultimately one of the fundamental parts of a game is that you have a chance of winning and losing. But if you can't lose because the level 1 CPU just can't keep up with you, then you're not really playing a game, are you? You're not really having a competition. So then that's why you have that ranking system, so that it's not necessarily you're being ranked down so that you can relax. You're still putting in your best effort, or you're not working too hard. I don't know how to explain that to you without giving you the wrong idea, but you're still bowling. You're not being sloppy. You're still looking at what you have to deal with and giving it your best judgment. Not overthinking, but just looking at it and saying, okay, maybe we should do this, and then do it. Like those times where you think, no, maybe it shouldn't be a lane throw. Or, for example, when we looked at that lane and said, could you Harry spin it? We knew that we could, we just didn't know how to, so we looked at it and I said, okay, let's try this, I think this will work. It gave us a parry split, but what did we say about parry splits? Parry splits are a sign of you're actually really close, but you just didn't hook it enough, so we got too close to the middle. So we had the right idea, but it wasn't right enough, so then we got the split 6. That's what happened, but that wasn't a case where we just didn't try hard enough. We put in the effort, we just didn't know what we were doing, so we gave it our best judgment based on the situation that we were in, but we didn't work ourselves too hard for that. Don't overwhelm yourself, but I don't know. Hopefully you got the idea anyway. So what we're saying is, when you get put to a lower rank, it's not so that you don't have to work as hard, it's so that the people that you're competing with have a better chance of also losing. It's not that they'll always lose to you, it's that they could win or they could lose, as opposed to they'll always win or they'll always surpass you. The competition isn't balanced if you're always going to lose. So then you get put into a lower league where you do have a chance of winning. That's why the ranking system works like that. I understand that people don't like that, because if they're in the lower league, it makes them seem like they're not as good, they're not as skilled as the other players, which in a way is true to say that perhaps you don't have as many skills as the players who keep surpassing you. That's why it keeps happening, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, at the moment, you don't have that many skills to compete with these guys, so put you in a bracket where the people have a bit more, like the skill set that they have is similar to yours, so that you guys can have a good competition, a close competition, one where we're not actually sure if you win or not. That's what it's about. And why did I want to say that? It's because that's because that's part of how promotion and demotion works. And then I suppose I realised, as I was thinking about that, well, Pro League Pro League functions like that, but then everyone's obsessed with reaching the infinity rank, and then when they don't rank up, they rank down. They feel like, I don't know, they don't feel good about that. But there's not really anything wrong with being ranked down, because if you get ranked down, then at least the players that you're playing with may have a better chance of competing with you, if that makes sense. Because, I don't know, competing sounds like you're always trying your best so that you can win, right? I don't know. But competing isn't always about whether you can surpass, I don't know. Where was I going with that? I think where I'm going with that is, if you always win, you're not competing. If you always lose, you're not competing. If you have a chance to win or lose, now you're competing. So, if you get ranked down, the people that you're paired with can compete with you. But if you get ranked up and they're much more skilled than you, then they can't compete with you, because they can't compete with you because you can't compete with them. But it's not a one-way thing. A competition isn't a one-way thing. So it's not, they can't compete with you. If they can't compete with you, you also can't compete with them. So then either you just win and they just lose, or they just win and you just lose. But either way, no one's competing at that point, because the result is like it's almost set in stone, even though it's not. I hope that makes sense, but that's just the thing about the Pro League. That's one of the reasons why I say you don't need the rank to feel good about yourself. The rank is just a matchmaking tool. Ultimately, that is its job. Pair you with good matchups. We've seen it with Barbara and Annie in the room, etc. Barbara wasn't good enough to compete with Annie Lavoma, then her rank would not be S. She'd be lower. A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. She just wouldn't be in the S league, so she wouldn't get Annie. Because if she wasn't good enough to compete with Annie, then every time they'd meet, Annie would win. That doesn't happen, because they can compete. Sometimes Barbara wins, and sometimes Barbara gets eliminated in the first round, and then Annie makes it through. So technically, Annie wins. Alright, time to have a 5-minute break. What is the mic doing? I'm telling you. Break time. What does this say? It says break time for gameplay. Okay. There's another break time note. Oh, I see. Get ready for break time. I'm sorry. Oh, also, do you want different music? I can give you different music. You probably didn't want different music, but you're getting different music. We're going to sit down for a couple of minutes. I'm going to reply to this person. I think it's Calvin, but no, it's not. It's fine. Oh, yeah, the music. Oh, I did absolutely nothing there. Here you go. talking, but he wants to. Oh no, I did this. Not meant to do that. He wants to help out with the 3D World 0x8 project. Completely different game. Should I be talking about it here? I guess there's no reason why I can't. Complete the levels without pressing A or B during the levels. You can do it solo, you can do it with different players, but what you can do with more players is different to when you're just on your own. So, if I paired up with him, we could test more stuff. But right now, as you know, I'm all over the place training at different times of the day, and then when I'm not training, I'm doing something else. So, at the moment, I don't know when I'm free to do that. It's been a thing where I'll have video slots open for Dani the Pancake Warrior, and I'm thinking we could fill that up with 0x8, but I don't feel like putting myself through that because it's supposed to be fun, yes, but it's quite mentally challenging. So if you don't have the headspace for it to begin with, then it can be harder for you to solve the puzzles, and it doesn't become fun anymore. So I recommend that I find a time where I'm not so stressed. I can relax a bit more. If I can relax a bit more, then I think I could go back to 0x8. But if I'm too stressed, I don't think it's a good idea. Sorry. No, because I'm not taking my time. Alright. It does feel a bit annoying that I'm taking a break. I'll have the game on, mostly because I'm recording. It's not very sustainable. Sorry, the mic. If I could not do this, I can't not do this. I could turn off the console right now. Okay, so the mic is here. Let's slide down. Hold on, that's my voice. My voice is okay. Oh, the mic is here, I can see it. Now it's underneath this thing. That's not helpful. Let's turn it around. Can you hear me better? Maybe. I just thought, it would be sad if I've come up with these ideas, for example, for Carging Bert and Sky, and then someone else watches the video and says to themselves, I want to do this with you, and then they leave a comment, and then I don't see it because I'm not looking at comments right now, or right now at the time of recording, and then they feel left out. But I guess if they're still watching, they'll know that they're not being left out intentionally. I.e., I don't want to leave the person out, especially if I feel like I can work with them. But I don't think I can work with YouTube culture. So right now, not that I'm classifying you as YouTube culture, I don't want to be checking comments about my own stuff. In general, I don't really feel like commenting, but especially when it comes to my own stuff, I don't really need to know what people think of me. Especially when I already know that I'm generally quite subordinate to other people by their opinions. Things like me talking about you don't need to work for the rank. I don't think people believe in that, which is weird because here you have Matt saying, well, you do need to work for the training, okay, physical activity, you need to put in the effort, but I feel like some of the stuff that he says goes against this narrative that you have to I don't know, maybe I'm just getting what people are saying wrong, because all I seem to see is you have to work hard, you have to grind. I don't see much about make your training fun, well, Matt talks about looking at the positives, to be fair, but that's just him. I haven't seen it from other people. I don't hear them talk about that stuff. I just see it as work. And I think that's because I see it in the context of video games, and with that it's just you play, and if you win, then you get points. That's it. Just work till you win. Win. When you win, you feel good because you get points. But with physical training, it doesn't work like that. You don't just do stuff and get points. You have to put in physical effort, and you have to do it properly. So if you're going to do it properly, and it might feel stressful because your body is physically being stressed by doing running in a very sort of rigid way, if that makes sense. You have to maintain your posture, try to maintain your pace, things like that. Keep your rhythm going. That's okay, but I could see that being fun, but it's still going to be physically intense. So if you're going to be feeling pain, you might as well find some way to enjoy what you're doing, so that you're not focusing on the pain. Yeah, but maybe it's just that gamers take it for granted, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. You think I'd ask Rohan these kind of questions? I guess I get scared because he's... No, you know what? I don't even get scared of him. I'll be honest here. I don't think it's Rohan that I'm scared of. It's because Rohan spends time with other people who have that rank, for example. And I feel bad. I don't think that they're as nice as him. It's just my opinion. I feel like if I were to talk to them, they won't appreciate me the way that Rohan does. So if I was to go to Rohan's channel and leave a comment, I feel like it would be easy for people to pick on me, given as well that he has spent time with Midnight, and Midnight has approached me before I even knew Rohan, and historically Midnight and I have not been able to understand each other. So I don't want to go there and end up having some wonky encounter with Midnight because she doesn't seem to be happy with me. Now, to be fair, I think there was a time where it almost seemed like she tried to behave differently. At that point, I kind of just... I don't even think I just switched off on her, because even the stuff that she was saying, it was really... I guess it felt miscellaneous. She said something... I don't even know if I should be telling you this, but it is in the stream chat, and I haven't turned it off, so you can see it for yourself. It was one of the Pink Gold Peach sessions, where Pink Gold Peach drove in a vehicle for 16 races. She decided to tell me that her brother plays this game with mods, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how that connects. I do know how it connects to the stream, but I don't know why I'm supposed to be interested in that. It doesn't relate to anything that's going on right now besides the topic of Mario Kart. So I guess if I'm there trying to play Mario Kart, for me, do I need to know that your brother has mods? I don't think I do, so then it just seems really sideways. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I need to entertain what she's saying. And I guess that's just a cultural thing, because she's young and young people like to chat. It is a social platform. So it makes sense that she decided, hey, I'm going to start a conversation by talking about something that relates to what you're doing. But even then for me, it just felt vague. I didn't feel like I could relate to what she was saying. So then the last time we ever interacted with each other, I think it was that time where she said that, and I just thought, okay, yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like if I was to, I don't like comparing people, but if I was to I do like comparing people. I don't like comparing people, it's themselves. I like comparing things. I think it's interesting to see how things can be different. What's the difference between this thing and that thing? Like we said, what's the difference between Barbara's earlies and her lates? But I'm saying I've received comments from Rohan. It does feel like Rohan is digesting some of the stuff that I've been saying in the sessions. Feels like either he understands what I'm saying, or he's curious about it, or he relates to it. But I don't get that from Midnight. I've never heard that from her. So I suppose that's why I've switched off when it comes to her. I was quite open to doing something with her when she first stopped by, but then the communication was really strange for me, and then after that it was, I don't really know. But my point is, if Rohan's audience includes people like her, and then I come and I leave a message, I don't want to get into any trouble with anyone else. Maybe that comes from me being overwhelmed in social situations, but it is a dilemma that places a barrier between myself and Rehan, so I don't talk to him. I think I talk to him a lot more than I have done if I felt like he was accessible. If it was a case when no one watched his channel, it's a bit like Kargin, but I mean, when I found his channel, I didn't see people watching his stuff. But that sort of made him more approachable to me, because I felt like I could have a one-on-one conversation with him. I tend not to comment on busy channels because lots of different people come, but also I think the more popular a channel is, I guess it's like more of the people who like, the more the people who follow trends are likely to watch those videos. At least that's how it seems. And so then I guess there are many trends that either I don't think are great for society, or it's a case where I'm just sensitive to them. So then I feel like I can't access its comments section because chances are I'll get overwhelmed. I could give you a great example. We can look at Jetlag, the game. I think what Jetlag do, the Jetlag team, what they do is great, but I wouldn't want to look at the comments section because I don't know what I could be seeing. There have been times where they've been getting like, I think I didn't mention, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in an actual session, maybe the ones at Apple, ? But the Jetlag team were interviewed by this person called Taryn, and one thing he often said was Taryn himself enjoyed Jetlag, the Jetlag season in particular, but when he go to Reddit to see what other people are thinking, he just see people flaring up, and I guess that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, because I'd watch the Jetlag season, and while I may have some criticisms, I won't be hammering at the decisions the decisions made by anyone from the team. I just say, that's just how it is. But apparently people can get really fiery about it, and I don't need that atmosphere. I don't want to see that and get upset because mostly because it's just really negative. It's okay if my opinion is different, but even when my opinion is similar, getting that worked up and upset, angry to the point where you're saying you guys stink, you guys are rubbish, I just don't think that's necessary. That stuff gets me upset. So when it comes to popular channels, I won't check their comment section. If I comment anywhere, it's usually on channels that not many people look at. Yeah, so I'd say Rehan, on a social level, he gets more of an audience than I do. So in that context, we're saying his live chat, and I'm not sure about it. He has his friends, right? So his live chat's a bit busier on those grounds, which is kind of funny because I don't have Nintendo Switch Sports friends besides Cargreen, Sky, and Question Mark. Do I have any? I mean, I know people who play the game or who have the game and have played it with me, but I wouldn't say that they play the game. And even then, I'm not sure if Cargin does play the game. I could look at his hours. Should I really be looking at people's hours? No, I shouldn't be doing that. I always tell myself, don't look at people's hours. I can see Barbara, but I can also see Ashton because he's on it. It does surprise me how much he plays this game. I wonder what does he get from it. What does Ashton get out of Nintendo Switch Sports? I do get a bit curious about that. Yeah. I don't even know who we're looking for. We're looking for... That looks like a Scarfy. Who am I looking for? Oh, Cargo, that I can see him. He's actually been playing 3D on. He has 55 hours on... That's a lot. 55 hours on Nintendo Switch Sports. I'm saying to you, that is a lot of hours. That is a lot of hours. That's 2 full days worth, and you're going to play that in a day, so... I'm thinking he's been playing this game. I can't see Sky's out, so I think he's got it. Yeah, he's got it hidden. But yeah, he's got 55. He does play the game. He doesn't play it that much, but you don't need to play it every day to be, say, a regular player. How many hours do we have on that other game again? We have 130 hours of Mario Kart World. Yeah, but then we've had that game for how long? We've had it since August, so that's almost 5 months. And to be fair, we had days where we just played it all day long, which most people don't do. So I'm just saying, in a general sense, to have 55 hours on a game that you've only had since October, in Cargamer's case, I think that's a decent amount of playtime. It's either you pick it up and you play it intensely for a little bit, or you play it every now and then. And he's picked up 55 hours. I'm just saying, 55 hours is a lot. It's a lot of time. I'd argue he plays the game. I think Sky plays it because he likes ranking up. No, let's be honest, Sky actually likes the game. He actually does like the game, and it gets him up. Especially for golf, I think. It gets him on his feet. He's bothered to actually do the child thing, right? Where you actually have the Joy-Con pretend to be a golfer. I'm not sure how much he recreates that, but he'll do something a bit like that. So he'll actually get up and play some of the sports. Mostly bowling and golf, but that's a common thing, I feel. You know what, that's actually interesting, how it's quite a common thing to play specifically bowling and golf, because I'd argue that these two are the most technical sports in the game. Now it's interesting because Mr. Rohan has Infinity Whatever on 2 separate accounts on golf for golf, but not for bowling. But if I was to compare, the only other sport that I think is really technical is football, because it has the strategy, but then you can kick the ball in so many different angles. I feel like there's a lot of precision to the way that you kick the ball as well, and then you can twist it, and then you can do the passing as well, and then you've got diving header techniques, and then you can use the ball to do things as well. Football, I've seen, has its exploits, but you've got 4 players, so game plan and strategy is quite big. I think football, along with these two, are really technical. We know that this sport is not very technical. This sport is technical, but I think because the game space is small, as with these ones, in fact all 5 of these have a very small playing area. So while there is strategy to them, you're limited with what you can do. I do really like badminton and tennis personally, but in terms of different ways to interact with the ball, and different ways you can return to your opponent. I feel like bowling, golf and football are the big three. I just remembered now that we did the whole review of Tomoko. And I talked about tennis and badminton, and I said I really like football. And then these two, I'm not sure how much I talked about golf, but definitely bowling. Probably said it's a really technical sport. Bowling is, but I feel like golf is, and maybe that's why people like these two, because they are really technical. They are really technical, so lots of things can happen, lots of different things can happen with these two. So I guess the gameplay is a bit more varied. Even football can feel a bit closed in at times. Even bowling can feel closed in because you just have the lane. That's why we end up falling into the same technique when it comes to the standard lanes, because you don't really have a lot of different. You do have a number of different ways to get strikes, but I guess when you look at it, it feels like, how much different can you get? The joke being that actually the precision is so precise that even just a slight difference in position requires a very specifically different technique. Just a specifically different technique to have a good chance of scoring a strike. I think with golf, it seems to feel easy to get straight shots, so maybe that's why there are a lot more players in the Infinity range here. Despite the sport, yes, being technical, it's a bit easier to control, because unlike bowling, golf is a distance-based sport. So you have a distance between yourself and the hole, or a distance between the teeing spot and the hole, and immediately the first thing you might want to do is get as close to the hole as you can, and then you can think about approaching and chipping. But if it's a par 5, then there's not really much to it than just driving the ball out. In most cases, sometimes you have to be a bit more technical because the wind can determine where the ball will end up. You don't want the ball to end up in the rough because that will cut some of your distance potential. But I think because with golf we often drive out first. That's like your main priority before you get to the more precise stuff. And then it seems to be easy to control. It seems to be easy for people to control how much power they put in. They can get the ball into the hole. I wouldn't say it's that hard to get. I guess that's because I'm able to do it, but I wouldn't say it's that hard to get birdies on this one. So that's already a decent benchmark, I suppose. But then, if you put in a bit more time, you can figure out how to get the chip in eagles, or master those shortcuts, so that you can get to the green even faster. Or you can get a hole in one with that one hole. I forgot what it's called, but there's a par 4 where you go through the trees and you can get it into the cut depending on how the wind is blowing. I just nodded, but you can't see me nodding. I do think that this sport is a bit easier than here. With bowling, even just throwing the ball in a standard fashion is harder than it is keeping the ball straight in golf, and with a particular amount of power. even from my experience, I'd say it's quite easy to hit straight, hit consistently in golf than it is with bowling. I put less thought into golf than bowling. Yeah, so I think that's why golf is more inclusive. With the Infinity Ring, I think we're talking about that because Rohan has that ring here, but not here, or here either. He says he's in the past he's said that he struggled with football, but maybe that again, maybe it says something about how technical it is compared to golf. It's like football's like an enhanced basketball because it has so much more strategy than basketball has, and then there's so many more people involved. Yeah, and the ball is free. It's not like it's glued to your hands. The ball is free, so you can go anywhere. You have to hit at the right angle and stuff like that. Basketball is just jump shoot, but it still has strategy. Golf has strategy, but it's not really strategy that involves outsmarting your opponents. Like with bowling, these two are you're in the night sky, but all the others are okay. What's your opponent going to do? But then this has the technicality of bowling with the strategy of basketball. So you combine the two sports together to get football. Or maybe that's why Rohan has some trouble there. Or had, because I haven't seen how he's. I've wanted to, but I don't want to get into that Pro League stuff. I really don't. So I felt bad, but that's why I haven't done anything with him. Or Ashton. I think I sent the friendly request to him because I didn't want to be rude. I felt I would have been rude to have not sent him the request, especially since we've met each other. If it was a case where I haven't seen him, I don't think we've met each other prior. I think it's more, it was a Matt is C+ stream that I watched, and Ashton was there. Matt kept talking about Ashton. So then I remembered the name. He had a different username, I think, but then when I saw that name I thought, no, that's Ashton. That's totally him. Yeah. Maybe that's why I said, I wonder what he gets out of it. He's got thousands of hours on it. When I say that, I mean he has over 1,000, between 1,000 and 2,000. I'm saying that he actually has less hours than Perry does. I don't hear from someone who is Perry, because how is it she's played the game more than Ashton, but she has no public presence? You don't see videos about Perry doing crazy stuff, but it's almost like you think with how long she's played the game for, she perhaps has the experience of an advanced player, or we've seen with bowling. I wonder what it's like there, you know? What if other people use that account as well? So maybe it's Karen plays on it, or maybe her sister plays. I'm just assuming that all girls have sisters. Maybe her sister plays, maybe her brother plays, maybe her mum and dad, and they also play with her pass. So then all those hours add up to Perry's pass, so it just shows Perry's account. So it just shows that Perry's 2,000 hours. You think, what? This person plays, but then in reality, maybe she doesn't play as much as it seems. You think, again, I have, 3,500 hours on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But I could tell you that I think maybe 2,000 of those hours is just the CPU against the CPU. And I'm not even playing, I'm just watching it, or I'm going to sleep with it on. so half of those hours are not even me. But you might look at that and think, okay, but you can't tell me this guy doesn't play Smash if he's got 3,000. Could you imagine, you looked at someone's account and they had 3,000 hours, and then you said to them, "You're good. I want to play with you. Look how many times you've played the game. You're crazy. I'm gonna 1v1 you." And you play with them, you think, well, that was pathetic. I mean, that's really not supposed to say that. But I'm just saying that's probably what that would. Maybe that person would say something like that because you know the culture's like that. But let's be a bit nicer. Let's say, wow, I don't think you were that inexperienced. What's going on? And then they say to you, you said I have 3,000 hours. If I told you that I only played the game for 10 minutes, and they say, what? Have you seen my character roster yet? I have 16 characters right now. You have 16? How are you playing the whole game with 16 characters? Okay, let's look at it this way. Let's say I've unlocked Peach, Daisy, Zelda, Rosie, Isabelle, and Inkling. At that point, my matches don't consist of anyone else, so I don't actually need to unlock anyone. And that's only that's 6 characters. You start with 8, so that's 14. I could have the amount of characters that I want for my tournaments after 14 characters, or after a total of 14 characters. At that point, I don't even need to touch the game. I don't. So it makes sense, doesn't it? But yeah, so you can only use. You can, but it's not accurate to use game hours as a metric for how good is this person, how experienced are they, because you don't know if it reflects the truth. Likewise, the rank doesn't necessarily mean this person is blah blah blah. Sure, I said it in the ranks video where I could take Barbara up to S5, give the controller to someone else, and then they don't actually have experience with the game, but the Pro League still turned on. So then they're seeing Barbara getting guttable, and thinking, this person is the highest rank. What's going on? Are they just not playing? No, it's just someone else is playing. So you don't really seem to. Still interesting to think that Annie is as experienced as she is, supposedly, and yet she doesn't put herself out there. Doesn't feel the need to, I guess. But you have other people, look, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. I'm so cool. Have you seen what Perry can do? To think that we watched her complete a special lane and get a strike, and then look at that special lane and think, yeah, let's do it to Perry anyway. And now Barbara can get strikes like that. Yeah, but why? Why are you putting so much emphasis on Perry? I can tell you this. I don't think with that special lane, it's just the fact that it's Perry. I think it's more the fact that what Perry does is she would rather stay on the side with 2 Yoshi Islands, roll from that spot and get a strike, rather than to go to the left hand side which only has 1 island, which is what I've always done, and I find easier because I understand it's just 1 slope. Okay, it's not really much to work with, and we can bowl from this side where the slope isn't as steep, so this is easier for me to work with. But no, Perry says, I can handle this. There are 2 islands, they're nothing to me. Apparently, she bowls from that spot, I spot, and she got the strike. I'm thinking, how does she do that? I want to know how to do that. That's really interesting to think that. I mean, it didn't really look like she did anything in particular, like she didn't act crazy hurt. But she still got the strike, so maybe we can do that. Maybe it's not that comprehensive. Let's see what we can do. She got us thinking. basically this nobody got us thinking. No one talks about Annie. No one. Well, I mean, I haven't seen her. It'd be funny to think, like, I don't know, has Leisure met Annie? Has Rohan met her? Did they talk? I mean, Sky's met her. Sky's met her. Karkin has met Verona. Yeah, I don't know. I need to go to the toilet, so I'm going to go. Maybe we should just end the video. I'll do that. See you later.